Good afternoon to everyone. I wanted to share something that happened this morning in shul. Not terrible, not detrimental, but something to think about. It was a Monday, and on Monday, this is what happens after Kriyas HaTorah. We say a series of Yehi Ratzons, ending with the paragraph Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, and then Nusach Ashkenaz and Nusach Sfard split. Nusach Ashkenaz puts back the Sefer Torah and then continues davening. Nusach Sfard says Ashrei Uvaretzion Kaddish Tiskabel, and only then put back the Sefer Torah. At that moment, it was a Nusach Sfard Chazan, and everyone knew it because he's been davening for a while. And he was about to start, but then a guy who had Yortzeit that week, or perhaps that day, took the Sefer Torah and started to say Kel Malei. What happened then was the following. Half the people were saying Ashrei Yoshvei Beisecha and sitting down. The other half somehow noticed it and stood up. I think this is not a good idea for two reasons. Number one, decorum. Kel Malei is a very emotional prayer for those that have Yortzeit and those that, or in some way or another, are remembering the actual memory of a loved one. And therefore, I think there should be decorum in the synagogue. There should be silence. What happened here was he was saying Kel Malei while half the people were Ashrei Yoshvei Beisecha Yoluch HaSela. And I think that's a mistake. And number two, halachic. When the Sefer Torah is rised up and moving, namely it's not in a remote position but it's on the move, we have to stand up. Half the people didn't notice it and continued to sitting down, and therefore they violated that law, not of course intentionally, but unintentionally. And therefore my suggestion is, if you daven in any nusach, what you should do is as follows. You should always say Kel Malei before you put back the Sefer Torah. That means Nusach Ashkenaz at that moment that this gentleman said it, and Nusach Sfard after Kaddish Tiskabel, because then people are waiting and quiet for the Sefer Torah to be put back, and there's decorum. No one will violate the law of sitting down while the Sefer Torah is standing up, and that should be the place where you say Kel Malei. So to sum up, Kel Malei requires decorum, and it also requires that people stand up because the Sefer Torah is being stood up and on the move, usually from the place that the guy who did Hagbah sits to the bima. And it should always be said when people are expecting to stand up, not as a surprise. Wishing everyone a good day.